welcome to our 2022 CEO Masterclass. I'd firstly like to acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples as the traditional custodians of our land, Australia. The Gadigal of the Eora Nation are the traditional custodians of this place we now call Sydney. Today, we'll have the pleasure of hearing from Geoff Millar from the Recruitment Company. He's the two-time winner in 2021 and 2022 for Australia's Best Workplaces in the micro category. Now it's over to Geoff to dive deeper into the behind-the-scenes look at one of Australia's best workplaces.
Welcome to the Masterclass. My name's Geoff Millar and I'm a recruiter. I'm also the CEO of the Recruitment Company. We're an Australian and Irish-based IT recruitment firm, and we specialise in contract and permanent recruitment across those two countries. Our key domains are IT recruitment and New South Wales public sector recruitment, here in Australia, obviously. And we recently won the award for the best place to work under 30 employees. We are back-to-back winners. That's something we're very, very proud of.
You took out the top spot as the best workplace in the country for your category, both this year and last year. What do you believe makes a great workplace in 2022?
What I believe is critically important is that you view your people as your number one asset, that you want to systemize as much as you can. Systemizing stuff sets you free, that we make that businesses balance intensity and fun. Too much of one and it's not a good business. That we set clear expectations of our people and we hold them accountable to those. That you try and obsess over your people decisions, and I mean like the 1%ers. So small things like remembering it's their birthday, celebrating their child's birthday, celebrating anniversaries, making sure all of your incentives are inclusive of everyone in your business. When you run quarterly or annual reviews, whatever it is you do with your business and its strategy, involve your people in it so they get to weigh in, therefore they're going to buy in. I do also believe in a great workplace culture that some of the cool things you see, like beer fridges and pool tables and dartboards and great incentives, all the things that we do have are great to have. They're not the be all and end all, but they're the icing on that workplace culture cake.
So, in this masterclass, we're talking about real day-to-day actionable steps that other workplaces across Australia in industries can put into place. Can you walk me through what the top 5 would be?
My top 5 workplace items that people can put in place to be a great workplace is number 1, trust. Number 2, people first systems. Number 3, clarity. Number 4, vision. And number 5, values. So number 1, lead with trust. Everyone on our business is given trust on the first day. It doesn't mean that we blindly give random trust out to everybody. It means that we're really rigorous in our interview process, and we check for integrity and delivery to an individual's accountabilities in their work history. If you lead with trust, people will step up to it. A culture of trust enables you to help people be better in their roles rather than worrying about them not delivering their roles. Number 2, people first systems. So I don't mean when I talk about this just IT systems, the obvious stuff. I mean everything, systemizing everything. Systems set you free. So looking at your meeting structures, your communication rhythms, your incentive structures, your training systems, your strategic coaching, systemize all of that. They make work easier, and like I said, systems set you free. Number 3, clarity. Clarity for us underpins everything. How clear you communicate your vision, how often you communicate your vision, what's expected of people on a daily basis is very, very important. Everyone wants to know how they're measured, how they're being measured, and almost in real time these days. For example, in our business, the first day, just to highlight some of the clear processes that we have, on the first day somebody starts with us, in that first 90 minutes, they spend it with me. And I set the tone. I run them through what we call a one-page strategic plan. And that one-page strategic plan outlines why we exist as a business, where we're going, and what our goals are in the next quarter to help us get towards that long-term goal. And that puts them on the same page as everyone else in the business. And then I run them through a position agreement, which shows them where their role sits in the business, what the expectation is of them, and how we're going to support them in getting there. We have other things as well, like individual metrics. Everyone in our business, whether they're sales or operations, they have an individual metric. So they know where they're at all the time and how they're performing against that, almost in real time. We have meeting structures, like many companies do, but we have specific meeting structures at specific times to share how the business is performing against its metrics, against its goals, against its quarterly actions. And we do them every Monday at 9:37. And we also have a daily huddle, also at 9:37, which enables people to discuss their wins or their roadblocks that they're facing each day. We obsess over making everything as clear as humanly possible and make sure it's over-communicated all the time. Number 4, vision. For me, a vision has to be bigger than the job itself. A vision has to be something that you genuinely care about and that your team care about and that unites them in that common goal. A vision needs to be simple, needs to be well communicated and over-communicated and communicated by your managers all the time in their daily work life. So it permeates in everything about your business. For example, our vision as a company is to make people enjoy the recruitment experience again. It's really simple. It exists because our industry, unfortunately, not always, but is known for bad service, not getting back to candidates, poor response. There's a lot of things that the industry is not particularly good at, and we're here to change that. We want to change that one exceptional recruitment experience at a time. That's what we're here to do. And as I said, our vision permeates everything within our business, everything that our team do, our processes, our systems. It's so important to instill that vision. And number 5, values. Values, you hear this a lot, values are just pictures on a wall. Well, we do have our values on the wall. They are on our wall. But that's a very good reason, because we do live and breathe these values. Values are your behaviors you see your team display. Values are the service that you give your clients. Values are the decisions you make within your business. They are integral to everything that you do. They're integral to your recruitment process. If you don't hire and fire based on your values, they're not your values. If you don't make decisions genuinely for your business based on your values, they're not your values. So get your values in place and make them fundamental to everything that you do.
I love those ideas and insights. Thanks, Geoff. How has your positive workplace culture helped your employer brand strategy?
Our positive workplace culture has really benefited our workplace culture strategy. By partnering with you guys, we've approached it from 2 channels, kind of external and internal. So from an external perspective, it's really simple. It enables us to show our future employees, our people, that we are a great place to work without telling them, which is fantastic from us. It's great marketing. And internally, it shows our team that we care. It really does, and we do really care. And we do great place to work because we want to challenge ourselves. We want to see where our gaps are, where our blind spots are, and we can tweak and improve that culture. Obviously, it happened so that we won it, which is fantastic. But it still gave us great data and great feedback, great insights for us to be able to continually be a people-first business. And there's no greater example of continuing to do that than our tenure. Our tenure is over 5 years. In recruitment, that's almost unheard of with an industry of only 18 months average tenure. And I'd also guarantee that in the last 2 years that we've won this award, it's had a major contribution to keeping our people.
Thanks, Geoff. I think those are so important. One big question we get from organisations is how to keep culture positive through times of change as a business scales and grows in size. Do you have any top tips from your experience?
It's a really good point. Obviously, we've grown and culture ebbs and flows all the time. So my top tips for a scaling business or growing business to retain a quality culture, good culture, would be first recognise it can't always be positive. That culture, a successful one, needs to weather peaks and troughs, needs to sail through those tough times and be able to bounce back from setbacks. Culture can't always be positive. Recognise that a successful culture has to weather the storms, that it will peak and trough, that it isn't always a consistent thing. Recognise that culture is something that you have to continually tweak and review and look at. My advice to maintaining culture as you grow is be very selective of who you hire. Your interview needs to be structured and objective, that you do hire to your values, and also you let go of people that don't meet those values or that culture. And I'd also say find mechanisms that you can, that give you feedback about your culture. So for example, we have three mechanisms. And the first one is a really simple tool called Tiny Pulse. It's a pulse check on our culture. It's a weekly question that we ask our team. The second one is our morning huddle, and we have it every day, and that's like our heartbeat. We can see how vibrant the business is. If it's a low heartbeat for a while, we'd look at what's going on with the culture. And lastly, number 3 is to have somebody that champions your culture. We have a people and culture manager, and it's her role to ensure we have an engaging, vibrant culture, and it's her key metric to ensure that remains.
We know through our research that best workplaces are open and honest. Can you talk about the importance of clarity throughout the workplace and getting comfortable with the grey space in the middle of growth and change?
Getting comfortable with the grey during change is actually really topical, because it's something we've gone through ourselves recently, and it's a really interesting space. I genuinely believe that in the grey is where the magic of accountability and freedom happen. It's where it really thrives. We had a situation, a system that we were looking at recently. So we moved our business from a traditional 8 to 5, 9 to 6 working day. We went outcome-based working. And for some of our people, it was fantastic. They thrived in that situation, and they knew exactly what they needed to do in a day. Whereas there was other people in the team and in the company that found it made them really anxious. And it meant that they didn't know when to finish in a day. They were still working at midnight, and they're working so hard that they're almost resenting their business because, like, I don't understand what this is. And I think a lot of companies would dive in there and say, okay, right, rules, policies, let's put this back in place, or they bring it back to a 9 to 6. And you have to resist that. It's really hard to resist that natural urge to go and put in those rules or policies, as I mentioned. So what we set about doing was trying to create clarity around the edges there. We try to give context to that, almost give them like a decision tree to make that decision themselves, so that they're accountable for the outcome, they're accountable for what is a really good day. Things like, have I delivered all my outcomes to the customer today? Have I achieved my plan that I set out for the start of the morning? Am I on track towards my goal for the month? Those kind of questions that our team would now ask to say, have I had a good day?
Are there any final tips you'd like to share with businesses across Australia joining the commitment to foster great workplaces across our country?
I could give so many final tips. I could talk all day about it if anyone wants to keep asking me. But a few final tips, yeah. I'd say the first one is do it because you want to do it, not because you need to do it. If culture is your thing, drive ahead. If culture is not your thing, find somebody that is their thing and enable them to do it. I would definitely also say start doing it. What do they say? The best time to plant a seed was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Start doing it today. Read those management books. Get your people engaged. Get clear on your vision and over communicate it. Find values that resonate in your business and that hold strong to everything you exist for, and share it often. All that stuff, over communicate to your business. And I'd also say, don't fall at the first hurdle. Don't let people that challenge your culture or your goodwill or your trust, or try and break your trust, don't let those first issues that arise knock you off your track. Commit to that journey, because it will pay dividends. We've been on this journey for 8 years now, and we've had so many mistakes that we made and so many people that challenged it, and all those times I thought, I'm doing the wrong thing, but no, I knew that I wasn't, because I genuinely care about it and I wanted to make it happen, and I had a vision for what we wanted to create. So don't let those people knock you off track.
I think we've covered all our bases today, and I just want to say thank you so much for your time doing this masterclass. If anyone has any questions for the Recruitment Company, they can reach you at
any of our channels, whether that be on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, or you can also reach me at geoffm@therecruitmentcompany.com, or my number 0283466724. And I'd be happy to help out anyone that wants to ask some questions. Thanks for listening. It's been an honour to be here.
Well, that wraps up our 2022 CEO Masterclass. Today we've heard from one of our leaders in workplace culture in Australia. We've shared how workplaces at home can foster a positive workplace culture for all. We hope you've learned something along the way and can share that with your peers and employees. Keep an eye out for some amazing resources that we have coming your way. Thanks for joining.